I just wanted to share with you something very, very rare at the front of my scimitar. In here we have an engine bay which is in remarkably good condition. However, on this side we have some very stubborn chassis bolts. Now I've tried to turn those and nothing's happened. On this side we've had the usual culprit, which is, there you go, there's a snap bolt, and the rest of it is somewhere down there. No idea where. However, this is the amazing thing. See the bolt at the back? No, you can't, because I haven't plugged my lighting in. Hang on. There we are. See the bolt at the back? Oh, it's still in shadow. Never mind. Well, this'll give you a clue. Here's some mole grips. And they've got a nut and a washer in them. And here is a bolt that just came out willingly and quite easily. Oh, shut up, Classic Fan. Can you believe it? Never been removed before, and it just sort of came out. If I'm perfectly honest, I feel like one of the luckiest people alive.
The more observant among you will have noticed I have, at some point, removed the front lights. In fact, you'll have seen I've removed a lot of things. Well, this video is that, removing the front lights, but in a rather unorthodox way. And no, I don't mean a hammer.
Do you know, there's one thing that's kind of bugged me about this since I got it. See if you can guess what. Yes, it's the indicator side lights. Now, I don't really mind them as a unit. It's more the fact that they are completely hidden by the bumper. The original location of them isn't that great, but then the fact that it's from an Austin Metro doesn't bother me either. It's more just the way that they're fitted, or rather, not fitted. Allow me to demonstrate. I mean, it's impressive considering that they've just made it entirely out of fiberglass filler and putty stuff, but I think it'd look better if it was sort of not there anymore. What do you reckon? Well, it's still more solid than a Mini ever was, isn't it? I'm digressing. Time to continue. Now, I've already removed the headlights from the other side. It's quite clear that the headlights were sort of just taped around before this car was painted blue. I'm glad that these came off intact and are actually looking in good condition. Not that I actually want to keep them or fit them back onto the car, but still. The left side, I put WD-40 on as I was doing it, and it, you know, it might have made a difference. This side, I soaked in WD-40 2 days ago. Now, you will notice that I'm not going to be using a standard screwdriver, and I shall demonstrate why after I relocate myself, having realised I was sat in completely the wrong position to do this right-handed. Now, if I take a normal screwdriver to this, most people would sort of just go up to this and go, oh, okay, so I'll try and get a screwdriver in there and turn it around and then realise that it's just sort of spinning in the top of it. What I'm now going to do is take my other screwdriver, but I'm also going to take a hammer. Hammer into it to make sure it's... But still, As I'm pushing onto this, I've got to push it into the screw, and I've got to rotate it at the same time. But I've sort of got to do that with two hands, and it's not an easy thing to do. So, what I'm actually going to do is use my driver bit, and I'm going to press against it. But what I've done is I've turned it onto the ratchet setting. So hopefully what it's going to do is it's going to start to spin, but instead of spinning straight out of the screw and stripping the thing, therefore meaning the entire job is screwed, no pun intended, it will simply just turn on the ratchet, and that will stop it from destroying it, but it will also send some vibration through the screw. And there you go. That was easy. Now, tell me if you've ever taken a screw out that is actually in that bad a condition that came out so easily. I dare say you didn't just do it with a screwdriver. This works. Oh, it's worth saying that you are hammering into fiberglass there, so don't do it too much, otherwise you will just destroy your car. See, that's moved a little bit to the left. Now go to the right. And left again, and that should just come out. Oh no, is that spinning the thingy? So that'll need mold grips again in a moment. Or why don't I just go and get some? I've just thought, I can use my new mold grips. I only received them today. Massive mold grips. Well, they're not massive, they're just really, really long. So hopefully, I'll be able to get these up there and talk amongst yourselves. Shout out to the guy on the Scimitar page called Bert, who suggested using stainless steel spire clips. I accidentally dismissed his idea initially, and yes, that wasn't my intention. That was more just a case of, it's a good idea, but I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to be fitting these back in the standard way. But thank you. But no, the stainless spire clips are actually a brilliant idea. Where are my pliers? I think I'm going to have to go on top. Okay, my pliers are now gripping. There. My face is covered in sawdust, and now because of where my arm is, I can't see where the screw is. I think that's it. Fingers crossed. Oh yes. And now, magnet. Number 2. 2 more to go. Right, that's on. See, this is where I could really do with like a GoPro, because then I could have just stuck it in there and then I could see, you know, put a different camera angle on. In theory, this should just pull out. Okay, so a piece of plastic just fell out. I'm noticing a lot of the chrome shiny stuff in this headlight has fallen off anyway. Oh, but the headlight bowl seems to be still intact on this one. It certainly wasn't on the left hand side. Oh, for crying out loud, they put a sodding self-tapper in the bottom of it. That's not supposed to be screwed into the body like that. God damn it. We have a headlight. A Wagner headlight. That's not going back on. doing that. Hey look, it was silver behind this bit. So how did you remove your indicators? I used pliers to prise against the filler that was holding them in. How about you? Turns out there's a bit more than filler and magic holding this one in. Oh well, I suppose I didn't really need to chop any of that out, but hey, at least the fiberglass underneath is in good condition. I didn't really expect that. Maybe I actually do need to undo the screws. Oh, look at that, they just come out. Wow. Oh, and it doesn't even have indicator bulbs in anyway. Oh wow, look at that, it's actually got some self-tappers in this one. Haha! Now, one question that I imagine some people will probably have is, why are you taking all of this stuff off before you've tested it? Well, a couple of reasons. One, I don't care. I'm not going to use any of this. Two, it's already been disconnected. And three, I don't actually know how much of the wiring is safe, let's say. For all I know, most of it was disconnected because every time you started it, or every time you tried to do anything, it set fire to itself, for all I know. I don't really want to find that out. I would rather go through it and make sure that the wiring is safe before I just plug it in and turn things on and hope for the best. Now the engine's a different story. I am actually going to plug that in, turn it on and see what happens. But stuff like this, that I absolutely have no intention of keeping, yeah, that can, this can just all do one, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, I see, so they painted it blue while these were hanging off. So actually, the person who painted this car blue was very likely not the same person that fitted these, because it looks like they didn't actually bother to take any of this off, and therefore I dare say they probably didn't fit them either. So we can put these back together, and they are ready to sell on eBay for £1 or thereabouts, because they're not going to be worth that much more, are they? Right. Remove that one now. Eee! Oh, that one's going to be fun. Oh. I tell you what, it's a lot easier when you've actually charged your drill. Oh, is that coming off already? Is that it? How many have I done? Oh, I see. It's already rotten off, that one. So, the screw's still in there, but the metal isn't. Oh, yes. I dare say the outer ones are probably the original ones. Where's my camera? There it is. The outside ones are the original ones because there's no bowl left at all. Still, there is one good thing about all of this. Oh dear, hang on. That wiring on the other side was attached to the car. Oh, for crying out loud. I don't care! There's one good thing, which is all of the rubber seals are actually in really good condition. There's plenty of give to them. They're not crusty, not rigid. They're all good and flexible. So, nope. Use the hammer first. Then put this in. Ah! Okay, so that's rusted to that. So 3 of them at least are in very good condition. This one I might have just twisted. Let's see if using a screwdriver is... No. Yay! Perseverance pays. And that is the front headlights stripped. Ta-da! And the fun thing about all of this is that underneath the blue paint, and then underneath the green paint, and then underneath the silver paint, it turns out the original colour of this car is blue. Olympic blue, I think it's called. And the simple reason for putting these back on is they're made of plastic, and if I put them anywhere else, I will break them. That'll do nicely. I'm at the rear of my car. You can see that. I'm removing chassis bolts. Now, the key thing about this is that when I say removing chassis bolts, I actually mean removing chassis bolts. Not cutting them out. I'm actually able to remove them with a socket. Or rather, two sockets. Let me explain. So, having removed lots of things out of the boot of this, and, well, I laid a carpet in here for some reason. It's just going to get mucky. Never mind. Good thing is, I've got a whole roll of it. I've braid a socket on here. Now, this socket is not the 1/2 inch that it should be. It is in fact a 12mm socket, because if I put a 1/2 inch socket on it, I wouldn't be able to bray it on. Now, that is not coming off by hand at all. And what I'm now going to do is get my little adapter. I should have set up a tripod for all of this. And then we're going to put it on my socket. No, not my socket. Yes, put it on my socket, put it on the ratchet, then on the socket. And that is going to go in there. So I've now ratcheted that, and it's now as close to this part as possible. That's a nice solid piece. That's what we want. So, that's now leaning on there, and we're all good. And then we go under the car, and I have another 12-inch, not 12-inch, 12mm. Have I been saying 12-inch the whole time? Whatever, 12mm socket. And this is the part where I should have had a tripod. Never mind. Yeah, as you can see, we've got some rust. As I've been hammering on it, it's all sort of fallen off. But it would do. Before I actually put this socket on, one thing to note. 6-sided socket. Try not to get 12-sided ones, because they're rubbish. Mind you, no, they're good for some jobs. But this particular thing, what you really want to do is bray it on there, because if you put the 1/2 inch correct sized one on, or it might be 13mm, I don't know. It's old and British, but it's also Ford, and sometimes they went to the decimal doodly things. I have the 12, is that the 12? Yes it is, I don't have any more down here. And I also have an oversized thingy. Obviously that doesn't go in there. However, now what I'm going to do is go up into here and fit it as tightly as I possibly can by hand, hoping that it will stay there when I let go. Good. That's a start. Now, if I just put this straight on it, unfortunately, actually I'll take that back off just to show. The length of that, because I don't actually have any long sockets, because I'm an idiot, if I try and put this on here, the depth of that isn't enough to go all the way over here. So what I need to do is put said socket on, sort of rock it a bit, make sure it's on, good, good, good. I'm going to use this backwards, so obviously it's not going to go inside there. Lay on my back, rest that on there, and then this is where cheap tools come in. or at least ones that you've got a guarantee on, that the person questioning the guarantee sort of doesn't, well, question the guarantee. Because that's not the correct usage of this tool. And then we put the socket on. Now note I have only a small socket, no ratchet. However, I also have a piece of tube. And the piece of tube has gaffer tape on it for grip. Because you put the socket on, no, you put the ratchet on, and then you put the bar on. And now what's going to happen is I'm going to turn this, and that ratchet that's up on the top is going to turn. Oh wait, I've just thought, I haven't actually turned this at all yet. The other one started spinning. This one, I might have just done all of that for no reason at all. Still, let's try and push the damn thing and... Ooh! Bloody hell! Ah, right, I've just felt that. That's now just touched the fiberglass. So it's freed, started spinning, and the ratchet that's on the top is now on the car. So hopefully I can push this and it will start to undo. There is one last little thing that I didn't mention. I soaked this in WD-40 about 2 months ago, and then again a month ago, and then again a week ago, and then again yesterday. So it's actually been 2 months since I technically started this job. No, surely not. It's actually coming undone. It's... Now, it's also worth pointing out that I have to apply upwards pressure to this, but if I apply too much upwards pressure, eventually this socket that I'm driving now will come out, because this is trying to push up and the socket is coming down with the nut. Once it does that, it goes dunk, comes off the nut, and then I've got to reseat it. But that's okay. The steadier I keep it, the more chance it will stay on. I actually did the other one from the other way up, so I was stood at the back of the car and pulling the socket round, so that might have had something to do with why it was doing that. Ooh. The ratchet on the top tried to spin backwards then. Now that's moved out of... The nut was taking up a certain part of the bolt. Now it's moved onto the part where all of it is the rusty exposed part. So obviously this bit here wasn't that rusty. But once it gets to that bit that was completely exposed, it's hardly going to turn. So that's where this bit gets really hard, and sometimes the whole thing just snaps. But that's okay, because it'll still be removed if it snaps. Just don't snap any ow, captive nuts. Ooh. Or captive bolts, rather. Can you snap a captive nut? You could hear the ratchet on top just sort of rattling about every now and again. I haven't had to cut off a single chassis bolt yet, and I cannot believe it. 2 of them are snapped, to be fair, and the ones in the footwell don't need removing because they're completely rotted off anyway. The bolts are still there, but the floor... No, the floor's still there. The chassis part isn't. For some reason they appear to have cut around the chassis. Oh! Ah! See what I mean about the slipping off thing? Now I might be able to just put that back on again now, if I'm lucky. Yep. Nope, 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 nope. Come on, stay on. Oh. Has that changed shape? No, it hasn't. It's still going. It's a bit difficult now because the ratchet up at the top has gone all floppy. I might just need to hammer that back on again. That seemed to stay in place. Oh, there's another good turn. Oh, no! Damn it. I like cheap old tools, especially ones given to me for knack all. Oh my god, are we there yet? Oh, I sound like a teenager on holiday. Are we there yet? Ta-da! Ow! Oh, that's really hot because of the friction. Oh. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you remove a nut that has probably never been removed before. Disclaimer, just because I managed to remove one doesn't mean you will. And there you are. Oh, and that was my solution to stop it from moving. I think that'll do. I've just got sort of the other side to do now. Oh, and one last little thing. You're now required to get the nut, no, the bolt. Am I going to get a single name for anything right today? Out of the socket. Simple. Go up to the vise, put the thingy in mole grips, get a screwdriver, that didn't work like it did the first time. Second time lucky, third time lucky, fourth, fifth. Oh, come on! I'm going to bend my screwdriver in a minute. Why won't that one remove but the other one did? I've got an idea. Let's put it in the vise. Since that's what it's for. At least the actual removal of the bolt sort of happened as smoothly the first time as it did. Right, it's just knocking the socket out. Right, what I'm actually going to do, since this hasn't worked, is I'm going to spray WD-40 on it and leave it overnight.